Hi, welcome again to another episode of Cooking for the Yum of It. I am your host, Wesley Foreman, and today we are going to be preparing a beef au poivre, which is a slow cooker variation on the steak au poivre I made in a previous episode, and we'll be serving with it escalloped carrots. Let's get started. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take 3 tablespoons of black peppercorns and it smells good. Pepper, which is what they are. And we're going to coarsely pound these in a mortar and pestle, which I have received as a my roommates have allowed me to use this. Anyway, we're going to coarsely crush our peppercorns. I've never used a mortar and pestle before, so this is a learning as we go kind of experience. Ooh. Use my arm. Well, this is, if I do say, rather exhausting work. But if it's something you enjoy doing, it'll be worth it in the end. I don't know who said it initially, but I remember a quote from someone: if you find a way to get paid for doing something you enjoy, you never work a day in your life. Of course, I'm not getting paid for this, but I enjoy it. Okay, so a little bit more. Come on. Okay, there we have some of the whole corns that haven't been crushed yet. Okay, I think that's about as good as I'm going to get it. Our coarsely crushed peppercorns. Let me take off my watch because it's going to get in the way. Put the spices back in the spice cabinet. Now the next thing we're going to do is we are going to press the peppercorns into the sides of our beef here. This is a 3 pound rump roast, and I do love a good rump. Which I've been drying so that it'll brown properly. sorry. One of the reasons I'd love to have a cameraman is I could get someone to hold the camera for me. And I wouldn't have to worry about it bumping so much. Anyway, as I was saying, remember to always dry the meat or it's not going to brown properly. Okay. This is going to be one. That's what a steak or beef au poivre means, is peppered beef. Now we go on to our next step. What we're going to do is we are going to brown the meat on a medium heat for about 3 minutes on each side. I'm going to use some of my bacon grease to do the browning. I'll just wait for this the lard to melt, the bacon grease. You don't want to put on you don't want to do this on too high a heat, or it won't do what we want it to do. We don't want it to cook. We just want to brown it a little because we're going to be cooking this in our slow cooker. Okay. Now let's turn on our fan. We're waiting for it to finish browning. We can get some other steps ready in advance. So hold on for a second. Okay, it's almost time to start cooking on the other side. I really do wish you could smell this. It smells just so good. Oh, look how good that looks. So I'm probably getting bored with this, so let's just skip ahead. It has now been 3 minutes on both sides. Get that down there. It doesn't want to lie on its side. That part may have gotten a little darker than I would have preferred, but not too bad. Now we're going to take 1 cup of brandy. And 1 can, 14.5 ounce of beef broth. I'm using the low sodium, 50% less sodium. Now you don't have to use brandy. You can also use cooking sherry, or if you don't want to use either, that particular ingredient is completely optional. But I like doing it, so now we're going to set the, first we're going to get the camera in the correct position. We're going to manual, set the temperatures on high, and we're going to cook this on high for, the recipe says, for 6 hours at least. So I will see you in 6 hours. I nearly forgot to remember, we're also going to use bay leaf, goes in there. Well, not exactly 6 hours. When it gets time to prepare the escalloped carrots, I'll be back then. See you later. Okay, we've got about 2 hours and 9 minutes, sorry, 2 hours and 8 minutes before the beef au poivre will be ready. So while we're waiting for that, I'm going to prepare the escalloped carrots, starting with the peeling and slicing of the carrots. Here we have our 5 carrots that we'll be using, and it's going to take a long time to get them all peeled, unless of course we use magic. Abracadabra. And there they are, perfectly peeled. Now we're going to set the oven, after we make sure nothing got left in there by mistake, at 375 degrees. And while we're waiting for the oven to preheat, we're going to get out our veggie bullet and slice these. Okay, everything should be ready to go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. If you drop something, don't worry. Remember, you're the only one in the kitchen. How well that came out. See, this is much easier to do than if I were to slice the carrots by hand. Okay. And there we go. Wasn't that so much easier? Almost as easy as using magic. Now I'm going to mince one large or large-ish yellow onion. Unfortunately, this I will have to do by hand because I do not have an onion mincer. I don't even know if such a thing exists. I'm sure if one does exist, there's someone out there willing to tell me about it, but no one's told me yet. So for now, I have to do this part by hand, which means very thin slices. making sure where I bumped the camera, and I'm going to make sure it's still in the correct position. Okay. This helps separate the onion pieces. Now my fingers smell of onion, but that's okay. This is one of the dishes I'm really hoping comes out well, because if possible, barring some unforeseen event, I'm really hoping I can make this for my friends if I'm able to go to Lazy Bear this year up in Guerneville. Well, I have to slice that part up later. It's a lot of fun, and I get to help raise money for SGMC, which is a very worthy cause. Okay, now this part is very easy. I just need to measure out. That sound you heard is the stove letting me know that it has reached 375 degrees. Anyway, for now, I need to measure out 4 cups of seasoned breadcrumbs. Good thing I went. Seems like an awful lot of breadcrumbs. Oh. That's 2. 3. 4. Wow, that is a definite lot of breadcrumbs. It's almost the entire, what was left in one container, and almost the entire new container I bought today. Now we take some nonstick spray and generously coat the, pardon my, generously coat our casserole dish. Now first we take our carrots. Now we take our breadcrumbs here. I'm actually quite excited for this particular dish because I don't know if I mentioned this before. I like casseroles. I just don't understand. I'm going to follow the recipe this time. And if it turns out it didn't work, if I make this again, I'm going to reduce the amount of breadcrumbs. It just seems like such a lot of breadcrumbs. But I'm assuming whoever cooked this originally knew what they were doing. Now we layer the onions. I'm assuming they tested the recipe. Wash my hand off. Okay, now we position the camera correctly. Now we add a little salt. And we add some pepper. This is another one of those trial and error things. You never know if it's not going to have enough salt or pepper until after you've done this. This is, again, one of those recipes I really wish they had given specific amounts. It's just salt and pepper to taste. Now we add 2 cups of shredded mild cheddar. You can definitely tell this recipe is not going to be paleo or keto. But as much as I am trying to follow that diet plan, I also want to enjoy my food. Oh, yeah. Last but not least, our 2 cups of milk. Excuse me. Okay, since I don't have a cameraman, you're going to have to trust me when I say now I put this in the oven. And I set the timer for 1 hour. Okay. The casserole, the scalloped carrots are now in the oven, and they'll be ready in an hour. At which time I'll leave them in a nice warming position. The beef au poivre, we've got about 2 hours until it's done, so dinner's going to be ready soon. Okay, the timer just went off on the escalloped carrots, so we'll be taking them out of the oven. Excuse me. Ooh, it's a little darker than I thought it would be, but smells fantastic, and you can hear it sizzling. turn off my oven. And I'm going to be moving this over to another spot because I'm going to need my countertop. Okay, now we're going to take out our beef. Don't fall apart, don't fall apart, don't fall apart. Yay! It didn't fall apart. And we're going to tightly cover it, or as tightly as we can, with some foil as we prepare the sauce that we will be putting over it. Now let's move this over here. Now we're going to take 2 cups of the juice. Excuse my arm. Let's take out the Ow, that's hot. Okay, we need something to take out the bay leaf. Okay. There we go. Okay, I think I went a little bit overboard. Pour some of that back because we don't. First time I ever try a new recipe, I always try to follow it as accurately as possible. Okay, now we pour the 2 cups of our beef au poivre juice, and we dissolve 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, this really does smell so incredibly good. I wish you could all be here. Okay, I don't know why, but some of this is sticking to the bowl. Yeah, that got it out. Now we dissolve the cornstarch into the juice. Now we bring it to a boil on a medium-high heat, which I think number 7 on the dial should be okay. Now once it starts to boil, we're going to add half a cup of our heavy cream. So let's just wait until it starts boiling. While we're waiting, let's slice up our beef and get it ready for later. Now this should be good for 8 servings. So I'm going to cut the beef into 8 slices. Oh, and it's cutting through like the knife is hot. Red hot, going through melted butter. Oh, that's a good looking piece of beef. Like I said earlier, I love a good rump. And now, put the foil back over Now the recipe said 6 hours. I should let you know I only cooked for 5.5, and it came out perfect. Okay. It's starting to boil now. Maybe turn it down just a tiny bit. Sorry. And we're going to pour in our heavy cream. Oh, doesn't that look just... Oh, fantastic. Reminds me of the brown gravy my grandma used to make. Oh, yum, yum, yum. I can tell right now. Let me take a little taste of this. Could use just a little more salt. It's fantastic. Now, the next phase is to take our sauce and drizzle it over our beef. We're going to have some leftover here, but that's okay. It looks like it can use it like gravy. I can have it, we can use the leftover in the morning and have some biscuits and gravy for breakfast. So let's get everything on a plate and let's go have dinner. Now this is always my best part, the actual eating. Okay, let's try a little of this beef. Oh, that is good. I could probably do with a little less pepper next time. But still, it's very good. A little bit more of that. Oh yeah. Now, the escalloped carrots. Oh, that is just too good for words, if I do say so myself. I do think, however, that when I make this again, I will not use as much of the breadcrumbs. I'll cut that amount in half and just use 2 cups rather than 4. But aside from that, well, that is just, if I do say so myself, that is just, oh, too good for words. So there you have it, beef au poivre with escalloped carrots. I hope you get a chance to make this yourself. Please like and subscribe, and please feel free to comment on down below. And until next time, always remember, eat and enjoy.